we are going to be solving a budget problem from one of you in the Debt-Free Millennials community. Hannah reached out and had a question about what to do with extra money. But before we get into it, if you want to work with me one-on-one with your financial questions, your budget and debt questions, we can do so through Budget Bootcamp. It's my private one-on-one monthly coaching. I will link to that in the description below for you to check it out if you're interested. But let's go ahead and hop into Hannah's question. Okay, so Hannah asks, what do you do with extra money that isn't part of your regular income? With being super focused on debt, it feels natural to spend on that, but it's also nice to reward yourself. Do you have a ratio or formula for how to spend it? Do you put it towards debt or do you save it? This is a great question, Hannah, and I think a lot of us have, when we're in our debt-free journey and you're so focused and disciplined on paying down that debt, when you come across extra income, whether it be from a tax refund, birthday money, maybe it's a stimulus check, maybe you're not entirely sure how to handle that, and also you gotta live your life. So I abide by this, let's call it the 80-20 rule. We've talked about this in the Facebook group, but the 80-20 rule is where you take extra income and 80% of it goes towards your financial goal, and then 20% of it can be used to reward yourself. When I was paying off $35,000 in student loan debt, I got into that mode of I just want to be debt-free as soon as possible, that I was just throwing every single penny towards the debt. And I ended up really getting burnt out because I wasn't really being fair to myself and letting me live my life and having fun. So what I ended up doing is whenever I had extra income, and keep in mind, if this is a one-time thing like the stimulus check or maybe a tax refund, this rule certainly applies. If the extra income feels a bit more consistent, such as you're picking up maybe babysitting or house sitting gigs and you're getting consistent extra income, I would take an average of that and add it to your budget, or add it to your debt payment so it's accounted for. But one-time payments such as this, I would do 80% towards your financial goal, 20% towards something really fun for yourself. So to give you an example, I actually got a tax refund while I was paying off my student loan debt. So this was back in 2013. And I was also working on going on a trip, a girls' trip to Puerto Rico. So that tax refund, what did I end up doing? It was a $500 refund. What I ended up doing was I took $400, so 80% of that money, and I put it towards my student loan debt, and the extra $100 that I had, I used it to spend in Puerto Rico, and it was amazing because I could add to my vacation fund that way and not feel guilty about it. I still was putting all of the focus, maybe not all, I was putting majority of my focus towards the one thing that I knew that I wanted, which was to be debt-free. And then I also took a portion of it and put it towards living my life, having the cocktails in Puerto Rico and having a blast. It doesn't have to be 80-20 for you either. Maybe it's 70% towards debt and 30% towards fun. Maybe it's a 75-25 split. Whatever way works best for you, I would say pick that split amount and go for it. Because what you're really saying in those instances is that you value X more than you value Y at that moment in time. So when I put 80% towards my debt, what I'm really saying is I value becoming debt-free more than I value putting extra fun money towards a vacation right now. And that's all just temporary. That's not what you're doing for the rest of your life. Each time you come across extra income, you get to make that choice. Now, the 80-20 rule also can be applied to when you're debt-free as well. I do this all the time with my husband, Kyle. When we come across an extra paycheck or we just have extra money in that month, we get to decide how we want to split that money. So 80% can go towards our financial goals. Right now, we are super into the go mode with our down payment for our first house as first homeowners. And we also really want to get a Jeep Wrangler. So those are two big financial goals that we are working on. So 80% can go towards one of those two or both. I could probably split it and do 40-40. And then 20% can go towards something fun. Maybe we throw more money into our vacation fund. Maybe Kyle and I get an extra clothing allowance for the next month. Those are decisions that we make on a monthly basis, and it's not always the same each month. So I hope that answers your question, Hannah. By the way, if you guys want to talk more in depth and detail about your specific budget needs, what's going on in your financial world, check out the Budget Bootcamp. I will link to that in the description below, where you and I can talk privately and get you towards living that debt-free millennial life. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on how to crush your debt and live payment free.